Tafadzwa Ranganai. He's the silent man behind the scenes, but he's very effective. You can hear him in his writing. You can hear his passion, his voice. You can literally see his dreadlocks in his lines.
My name is...
Kuno kwatiri kuenda kwako tinofane mari zvelevu rekuti boys mukaona kuti tokona kutosiya kana kukorokota
Tafadzwa ndakashanda naye. Handina kushanda naye mumaproductions akawanda, but ndakashanda naye. Kana ari pabasa Tafadzwa means business. Haana kutamba and anenge achida zvinhu zvake zvinyatsoitwa perfect. Tafadzwa is someone kuti kana ari pabasa anombosiya kutamba pasaiti oita zvebasa. Ari munhu anogona, ari munhu anonyatso kana ari kukuexplainera whatever zvada kuti unzwisise, anonyatso explaina zvokuti unonzwisisa.
Tafadzwa Ranganai. He's the silent man behind the scenes, but he's very effective. You can hear him in his writing. You can hear his passion, his voice. You can literally see his dreadlocks in his lines. Anyway, so he's one guy that is an amazing artist, a creative artist. That's what I would like to call him. And it's a great experience working with him in this generation and in this era.
My name is Tafadzwa Ranganai. I'm a late 30s filmmaker from Zimbabwe. I am a writer, director, producer, editor, sometimes a sound man. I do a little bit of everything when it comes to film. My journey started in 2007. That's when I had my first professional gig. I think I was doing voiceovers for a church or something like that. I can't even remember. I just know I got paid and I enjoyed making money doing something artistic. So a little bit about myself. I have written and directed 3 short films and 2 feature films, and I've directed a feature film that I didn't write. So my history in the industry is such that I started off studying to be a journalist actually. I have a degree in media studies from the University of Botswana. But while I was there, my interest just started leaning towards film. My love for expressing myself through my imagination eventually took over, and I chucked journalism to the side and found myself working on fiction. What else about me is interesting?
Split up kaya muri kutaura. Musatenge musati mamboona mahora movie. The moment vanhu pavanongonzi vasplita chete, vanhu vanotanga kufa 1-1.
I started off, my career is interesting in that I started off in Botswana. So I worked in Botswana for a couple of years doing music videos, television ads, corporate videos, the type of stuff that pays the bills. But home is always calling. And I decided to try my luck here in Zimbabwe. And I must say, ever since coming back to Zimbabwe, my creative side has really flourished. It's in Zimbabwe that I managed to write my first feature film and direct my first feature film, Nevanje, which is currently streaming on a couple of streaming services. There are too many for me to remember. And I've enjoyed working with so many different people in the industry who are up against serious odds in terms of the economy, but still producing brilliant work and making it happen. I think if there's one area that shows the true resilience of Zimbabwean people, it's actually within the film industry. So the challenge that a lot of local filmmakers face is, I guess the obvious one is money, to to begin with. But I don't really like mentioning that first because it's not a problem that's really unique to Zimbabwe. I think independent film in general struggles from funding. The one that is really close to my heart and really grinds my gears, if I'm being honest, is that we struggle with distribution platforms. And this lack of distribution platforms basically just goes backwards to a lack of money. It's sort of like a chicken and egg thing. So if we don't have anywhere to show our films, we can't prove to financiers that we have an audience, a paying audience for our films. One of the radical ideas that I have that I think should be implemented is that our cinemas should be given a quota of local films that they show in a year, pending, of course, passing quality control and all of that. But yeah, the major problem we have is distributions. We're making films, but we're struggling to get them to our audiences. When I think of people who I had seen growing up and were curious about meeting in life, the person that first comes to mind actually is Ben Mahaka. He was one of those cats you'd always see on Studio 263 and be like, oh, that dude is so cool, he's smooth. But the thing that I love most about working with him is, much like myself, he is a film nerd. He loves everything new about film. He just loves intricate little details, and he has all these little facts running around in his head about film equipment, about filming styles, about filming directors, about anything you can imagine. And I love a film nerd because I consider myself a film nerd. ZAFTA's long overdue, and I don't think I can state that more. I mean, for a long time, so many people have contributed to growing this industry, and they've not been celebrated. For a very long time, we had to rely on the NAMAs as our award, for our award fix, you could say. And the problem with the NAMA awards is, because it's trying to cover the entire arts sector, there was just so very little they could offer for the film and television sector within the arts. So you always had a situation where the people who would be recognized would be producers or directors when their production is named Best TV or Best Film, and then a couple of actors and a couple of actresses. But what that meant was it left out writers, it left out makeup artists, production designers, editors, DOPs, and these are guys who are the true workhorses of our industry. So I think I'm really glad that the ZAFTAs have come around. It's about time that, you know, the rest of the guys got a bit of recognition.